What's going on, guys? Ants Trades back with another video. Relatively boring day today, pretty much sideways for the most part on AMC and Ape. SPY saw some red today. I mentioned the possibility of a head fake. I think that's what we saw today. This video should be relatively quick. Let's just jump right into it, starting with SPY. Again, I'm going to mention this again. 2-year long descending broadening wedge that we recently broke to the upside. Very bullish. Jumping into the daily, what we're looking at here. SPY saw a pretty nasty gap down this morning, coming all the way down from 414 roughly, opening the day around 408.75, somewhere in that range. Pretty nasty gap down. From there, you come a little bit lower and then find a recovery, find a bounce there, and then spend most of the day trading in our pattern here, our symmetrical triangle, bouncing back and forth. High of the day around 413, a little bit less than 413. Most of the day you spend trading in this range here, and then at the end of the day, you see some more downside and double bottom where we pretty much opened the day. Overall, I mentioned the possibility of seeing a head fake. I mentioned that we're waiting on SPY to play this pattern out for AMC and Ape to see to make a decision. I mentioned AMC and Ape would be mostly sideways this week until SPY, finally makes this decision here, and pretty much that's what we got again today. Not surprised to see this movement at all. Again, I think this is a head fake personally. While I'm here on the daily, I'm just gonna show you the EMAs. The 50 EMA is sitting right on top of the 200 right now. I believe it crossed earlier in the day, and then while we were in the green, and then coming back down red. This is where it ended up. It's sitting right on top of it. Really hasn't got the full cross yet, but it's sitting right there. Golden cross on SPY. I'm expecting to see it tomorrow. To fully cross this. I'm expecting a recovery here tomorrow, actually a gap up back into our pattern here, into our symmetrical triangle. I'll go on the smaller time frames and we can talk about that. So golden cross is on its way, a little bit higher volume today. I'm not really surprised to see this price action at all. Like I mentioned before, I've been mentioning, for I think the past 2 videos, I mentioned the possibility of seeing a head fake here, and that SPY would play this pattern out, or be playing the pattern out by Friday end of day. Jumping really quickly into the 4-hour, looking at what we have here. Since we found this bull trend here from the breakout, we've just been forming higher highs and higher lows. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and higher highs up until the local high of 418 and some change, where you found this upper resistance, and we've just been ping-ponging back and forth between support and resistance, waiting for a decision to be made here. The 4-hour candles today, I wasn't surprised at all to break below this today. As I mentioned about 5 times already in this video, I was expecting a head fake, and I think we're going to be recovering tomorrow. These candles both double topped around 413 and both double bottomed around 408. Somewhere in that range, 408 and some change, with equal volume on both of the 4-hour candles today. So really quickly jumping into the 1-hour. Again, it looks really good still. It's very bullish to me. Higher highs, higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. It looks good, and we're just waiting on SPY to make a decision here. I am expecting to recover tomorrow, reclaim this pattern here. We still actually have some space here. We could spend the entire day tomorrow trading, sideways in this range between 413 and 410. I'm expecting to see a gap up in the morning, maybe to 410 you gap, and then from there you see some more upside. Maybe you come all the way up to 413.50, get knocked off, and then spend the rest of the day trading in here and close the week somewhere around 411 to 413 range for SPY. That's scenario 1. If that's what we see on SPY, most likely you're going to get another sideways day on AMC Ape, probably another doji on AMC, something similar to a doji, and probably another sideways day for Ape as well. If SPY does not reclaim this and see some more downside, this thing is going to be crashing hard, very hard, and it's probably going to come all the way back down. You'll probably find a catch around your 406 level, your 400 level. But if we do break down from this pattern, I'm expecting to come all the way back down to the top of the descending broadening wedge. I don't think that's likely. I don't think that's going to happen. I mentioned this already once before, that this move looks like an inverse head and shoulders to me. That's playing out here. Here's your head, here are your 2 shoulders, and the bottom that you have on this is actually the double bottom that we found here is actually similar to this. It's the same range here, the 408 range. So It looks good to me still. Again, I think this is a head fake. SPY, I think SPY will be recovering tomorrow back into the symmetrical triangle, possibly breaking out of it. If not, you just ping pong here all day. Close the week somewhere here in like the 410 to 413 range, heading into the long weekend. Overall, bullish as fuck. I still think it looks really good. I am expecting a bounce tomorrow. If SPY sees more downside tomorrow, this thing is going to be crashing hard, so just keep that in mind. I don't think that's likely, as I think AMC is about to run, and we're waiting on SPY to make a decision. So that's pretty much it for SPY. Jumping really quickly into AMC. Mentioned yesterday that you can possibly expect a doji, and that's exactly what we got today. A very crisp, clean doji right here. Pretty much a sideways day for AMC. This is bullish as fuck. This is a good thing for us. I mentioned two scenarios yesterday where maybe you come back down and retest the wedge. We're not out of the woods yet on that. I mean, we're going to need another green day. We need to get a little bit higher up into this range here, into like the 580 to the 610 range for me to be like, okay, we're not coming back down to the wedge. Still, I think this looks good. I think SPY is going to recover tomorrow, possibly break out of the symmetrical triangle. If not, if you just see a sideways day, and then SPY closes the week 410 to 413 range, you're probably going to see a relatively sideways day for AMC as well. Maybe another doji, a little bit higher. Nothing really too crazy unless SPY just absolutely starts ripping to the upside tomorrow. So that's pretty much it for the daily. Pretty low volume today as well. Jumping into the 1 hour and just looking what we have on the 1 hour. Mentioned this yesterday that this looks very good for us, very bullish. From the rejection, you retrace, break the wedge, get halted, and you come all the way back down and you test the previous resistance that we've had, this descending trend line here. We tested this as support and it held as support. Yesterday we saw a 15% day, and then today we traded relatively sideways and got a doji on the daily, which is fine. It's still good. Higher high than yesterday. I'm not mad at all, and we're forming higher lows here on the 1 hour. Like I said, pretty much waiting for SPY to make a decision. We're waiting on to see if SPY is going to continue its bull trend to the upside, or if it's going to come crashing back down to the top of the descending broadening wedge. If you do see SPY come crashing down to the top of the descending broadening wedge, you could probably expect that AMC is going to do the same thing. It's going to come all the way back down and then retest the wedge here once again. Still, I think we're squeezing. Even if this happens, I still think we're going to probably form another bottom here, and you'll get your W like that, where you have like this, and then you go something to that effect. Regardless, I'm still bullish as fuck. I still think it looks really good. Not really too much to say here, and not really too much to say on Ape either. On the daily, once again, a very sideways day. Doji on Ape as well. I mentioned this week would probably be boring and low volume, and so far that's what we've seen. I mean, besides the 15% day yesterday for AMC, that was just a technical move though, holding support on a 2-year macro downtrend, breaking out of that and then coming back to test it and holding support. Seeing a 15% day makes sense, so not really shocked to see that. It makes sense. And then pretty much, Ape has just been completely sideways, and AMC was sideways as well today too. And that's pretty much it for Ape. There's really nothing to see here. Another boring, low volume, sideways day. We're really, I'm focusing most of my attention on a daily basis right now to SPY. We're waiting on a decision here. And I keep saying this because it's the truth. We're waiting for SPY to make a decision. If SPY reclaims this tomorrow, trading sideways, if we reclaim this and trade sideways here, that's fine. I'm happy to see that. If we reclaim and break this to the upside, SPY is going to start ripping to the upside. Next stop for SPY, I mentioned before, is 426. You're probably going to see that relatively fast if we do break this thing tomorrow. If SPY breaks out of this thing tomorrow, you could probably expect to see 426 at some point next week. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I ever say is financial advice. But this is what we have here. We're waiting on SPY to make a move, make a decision. We've just been ping-ponging back and forth between support and resistance here. 416, 410, 406. We're pretty much 2 weeks now waiting for SPY to make a decision here. Just ping-ponging back and forth between support and resistance. You have your upper resistance here. You have your bull trend. We broke below it today, double bottomed here around 408. Again, I mentioned this looks like an inverse head and shoulders, and these two shoulders here pretty much match on the lows. It's pretty much the same range on the lows here. And that's pretty much it, guys. And I did mention that this, more than likely, you'd see a head fake here, and I think that's what this is. And, we found a double bottom. We wicked about 15 cents lower towards the end of the day, and then closed the day at the low on the wick from the gap down early in the morning. I still think it's bullish, and I am expecting a bounce tomorrow. This is what we're waiting on. We're waiting on a move here. I think AMC is squeezing sooner than later, so I don't really see SPY coming back down. So that's pretty much that. Again, not financial advice, but I still think things look good, things look bullish, and tomorrow is going to be a big day for us. Tomorrow is going to be a very, very big day for us. We really want to see SPY in the green tomorrow. We want to see SPY reclaim the trend here, and at the bare minimum trade sideways in this range, 413 to 410, 411, and just ping pong here and close the day somewhere in this symmetrical triangle here. So tomorrow's a big day. Really hoping to see some green for SPY tomorrow. Worst case scenario, the bear case scenario, this thing just completely breaks down from this. You're coming all the way back down. Really doesn't make too much sense to me, as SPY just broke out of a macro 2-year downtrend. It really wouldn't make sense to me to come all the way back down already, having just broken out of it. So that's the bear case scenario. Another scenario is you reclaim the symmetrical triangle and just play ping pong in this all day. AMC and Ape also go sideways all day, forming another doji or something to that effect, probably on relatively low volume once again. Scenario 3, you see SPY gap up in the morning, reclaim, and see some serious volume pump in, and this thing breaks to the upside and just starts running. In that case, you could probably expect that AMC and Ape will see some green tomorrow as well. One thing I did forget to mention, actually, and I'm going to do it one more time because I have not mentioned this, and it didn't even cross my mind to do this, but somebody in my Discord posted this in the TA section, and I thought it was actually a very smart thing to see. It's a very good idea, because I did mention that we have our volatility zone, and it's from the June halt. The volatility zone is pretty much running with the top of the descending wedge, this descending resistance here. Our volatility zone is pretty much running along this line here, and it's been getting lower and lower by the day. All the halts here. The halts are getting lower. The volatility zone is getting lower. We really don't, I mentioned yesterday, we really don't need a lot of upside here to get back into that volatility zone. So from the last 2 halts that we've seen, I've connected a trend line here, and this is your volatility zone getting lower by the day. And from the bounce that we got off the wedge, where we are right now, the top of our volatility zone is sitting around 670, 680 range. We're about $1.50 away from that, and it gets lower by the day. So we really don't need to see that much upside before things get absolutely crazy. So having said that, if you see a solid green day tomorrow, if SPY breaks to the upside and AMC sees a solid green day tomorrow, you could probably expect next week is going to start getting pretty crazy. So overall, everything looks great to me. Tomorrow's a very big day for us. Very, very big day for us. We really, really want to see SPY in the green tomorrow, at least reclaim the symmetrical triangle, trade sideways, ping-ponging between 413 and 410. At the bare minimum, that's what I want. I do not want to see SPY come any lower. I don't want to see SPY break down from its pattern and head back towards the top of the descending broadening wedge. I don't think that's likely to happen. I'm just mentioning it because it's a possibility, but I don't think it's likely. Overall, bullish as fuck. I still think we look good. And again, tomorrow's a very big day for us. Very, 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 very big day for us tomorrow. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.